Hi, CYC families. This is Mr. Scott again. I hope everyone is having the most excellent day that you possibly can have today. And I realized in my previous videos, I've failed to introduce myself to those who may be watching this video who aren't a part of my Epstein family. So for those of you who aren't familiar with who I am, my name is Mr. Scott. I am a youth worker at Sydney Epstein Youth Center, and I am a youth worker for the HEAT classroom, which is our 9 to 12-year-olds at Epstein. And before I jump into my next video to lead you all through the next mindfulness activity, I do want to mention that I want to share with everyone, possibly on Facebook or any other way that I can, a book list of ebooks that have to do with mindfulness and meditation that are available through the Chicago Public Library, and also information on how to get a e-card, library card. But if you already have a library card, or a family member or relative or loved one has a library card, then your library card will automatically get you access to any online resources or ebooks for you to be able to download virtually and be able to get to read books online, since we unfortunately can't go into any of the branch locations right now. So today's mindfulness activity is called 3 Gates. And today we are going to explore 3 questions to determine whether something we are about to say is helpful and kind. So we're going to ask ourselves, is it true? Is it necessary? And is it kind? And this is something that anyone, regardless of age, can practice. And I first want to get us into the scope of this by getting us to understand that sometimes we can hurt other people's feelings even if we don't mean to. We can say things unintentionally and it may come off the wrong way to somebody else. So today we're going to explore how we can know if something we're about to say is respectful or not, and what we can do if we accidentally hurt someone's feelings. So one way to avoid hurting someone's feelings is by asking these 3 questions before we say something. Is it true? Is it necessary? And is it kind? It's like passing through 3 gates, if you think of it that way. If it's true, you pass through the first gate. If it's necessary, you pass through the second gate. Excuse me. And if it's kind, you pass through the third gate. So to give everyone an example of something that may, of something you may say to someone that may not pass through the gates, through any of these gates, would be, let's say for example, you're talking to a friend or you're talking to a classmate, and this person shares with you that they have a bike. They got a new bike, but it is their sibling's hand-me-down bike. So they got a bike from their sibling. So it's a new bike to them, but it may not necessarily be a new bike. And you say to that person, "Oh, well, why couldn't your parents or why couldn't your family get you a new bike?" And the reason why that this probably wouldn't pass through any of these gates is, if you think about it, if it's true, if you ask them, oh, well, why couldn't you get a new bike? This bike is new to this person, and their sibling may have gotten a new bike themselves, and so this person, got handed down their sibling's bike because their sibling got a new bike. And is it necessary to say? Not really, if you think about it, because at the end of the day, this person has something has something new that's special to them, and they're able to use their bike to be able to travel and to go to the places that they want to go to. And if you ask yourself if it's kind, same response as is it asking yourself if it's necessary. It's not kind, because if you think about it, again, this person has something that's special to them and that they can use to be able to travel wherever it is that they want to. So we also want to think to ourselves of when we say something that is kind and that is helpful and necessary, that would pass through these gates. And this may be a friend or a classmate had got a new haircut or has a new hairstyle, and you walk up to them and say, "Hey, I really like your haircut. I really like your hair, the way that your hair looks today." And I feel like, and I hope others would agree with me, that this would pass through all 3 of the gates, that it's helpful, that it's necessary, and that it's also kind to be able to give someone a compliment like this. And we also want to think about when we should ask these questions to ourselves. because it's not always necessary to ask these questions to ourselves and to be constantly worrying about what it is that we're going to say. And we also want to think of if we ever get a feeling that what we're about to say may not be respectful. So to give you all a personal experience, I myself, and even to this day, still sometimes get this way. I get easily frustrated with building furniture or putting furniture together. So in the past, one time I was helping my mom put together a desk that we got. And I am not one that likes to read instructions or directions for building something. So a good tip, always read the directions and always read the instructions, because believe it or not, they're going to help you put something together. But I was rushing through trying to put the desk together, and I was getting frustrated because things weren't fitting the way that they were supposed to. And my mom was trying to help me out, trying to, troubleshoot and see what it was that I could do differently. And I got upset at the fact that she was trying to help me. And in the moment, I realized too late that what I had said was not helpful, that it wasn't necessary, and it definitely wasn't kind. So what we really want to take away from this activity and from this lesson is that we want to ask ourselves these 3 questions the next time you get a similar feeling, that you feel like you're about to say something that you think is not necessary, it's not helpful, and it's not kind. And for older folks, I feel like it's also necessary to throw in a 4th question to ask ourselves: is it the right time? Because sometimes, although you feel like you want to say something or you feel like you need to say something, it may not always be the right time to bring that up, to say something to somebody, because they may need some more time to be able to process their emotions and process their feelings. And even though you may be trying to be helpful, it may be more helpful to wait until a later point in time to maybe bring something up or to say something to somebody. So just as a reminder, we don't want to we don't need to ask ourselves these questions every time we speak. Only when we catch ourselves feeling that what we're about to say might not be kind or respectful. And we want to always be, we want to be aware, we want to be cognizant of what we're saying, but also remembering that when we do make mistakes, it's human. We're going to make mistakes. We're not always going to be perfect. And then if we say something that in the moment that we know that is not necessary and it's unkind, we apologize and we make amends for what we say. So I want to say thank you all for joining me today. If this is your first time watching any of my videos, I hope that you really got something out of this. And if you want to leave a comment or reply and let me know or let others know how this video made you feel, or like any other emotions or feelings or experiences that you want to share with everyone else that's similar and related to this, I encourage you to do so. But until we see each other again, I hope that everyone is staying healthy, that you're staying happy, and that you are practicing spreading kindness and joy with every opportunity you have each day. Until next time, take care, CYC family.